everybody, Tall Paul here, and today I want to talk to you about D&D Beyond Maps, the official D&D VTT. I was able to run a game in Maps for the first time last night, and I wanted to share my experience, some of the things that I loved, some of the opportunities that I think it has, and what I hope for its future with you. So, first and foremost, this is the landing page for Maps. It has a bunch of really great information, as well as some kind of how-to walkthrough. So it is going to lead you through a lot of the things that you need to do. I was able to kind of read through, and it goes through how to set up the encounter, how to add the tokens, etc., which I will show you in a moment. We're going to select our game, level 20s only, which is the game that I ran, the campaign that I ran last night. Now we have a little changelog, and let us go right. All right, here is the encounter that I ran last night. We see a whole bunch of dragons over here, and then my party over here. This obviously has been previously set up, but I just want to kind of walk you around a couple of the cool things as you're running an encounter in Maps. If you click on any of the tokens, it pulls up a little menu. You have Update HP, where you can type in the amount of damage that they just did or the healing they did, and it automatically calculates it. I thought that was a cool tool. You don't have to do the math in your head. It just kind of helps you with that. You can also hide the monster from your players as well as show it. Lock it so that your players can't move it around. Change it if you wanted to rename the dragon. And then also add border colors, which is really fantastic. If you have, say, 2 young dragons, you can switch the border colors to 2 different things so they know which one they're attacking, and they can communicate that to you. Additionally, from all of the monster stat blocks right here, once you click on it, you have View Stat Block. That is going to pull up the little menu on the left-hand side and is going to give you the monster stat block. And you can roll things right from here. Roll advantage, roll disadvantage, roll straight. So you have your 25 to hit, then you can roll your damage, add your fire damage, and there's a little game log and dice right here so you can see all of the things that I just rolled. I kept this open the whole game. I found it incredibly useful because, you know, with level 20 characters, you have this is the weapon damage, this is the added damage, this is the this damage. It all kind of adds up, and you can either add it up here or just do it all in small little increments. 15 damage, 10 damage here, right on that stat block. In addition to that, dragons have fire breath. So this is the overlay menu on the left-hand side. Over here you have your normal pan, select. You have fog of war, so you can have your players not see certain things. This was obviously an encounter they already did. The fog of war has been removed. You can also just draw on the map normally, and there's a ruler to gauge your distance. So you can say, I am 32 feet from this wormling. You can also point and ping for your players. This will kind of make a little boing so that they know which one you are talking about or which direction you're saying something is coming from. But the big thing for the dragons was obviously the overlay. You can say right from there, that is a 90-foot cone. There are also patterns that you can put there. There's a nice little death pattern. Quick little delete. It goes away. I found it very useful, especially with the dragons, having AoEs like their fire breath to kind of just gauge it and, you know, not have to eyeball it or anything like that. In addition, I did use the draw feature to write lots of loot down here to simulate the piles of gold that I forgot to add to the map. Let me show you how to create an encounter, and then I'll go over some of the things that I like and didn't like about maps in general. So right up here, we're going to go to open our map browser. We're going to My Uploaded Maps. We're going to upload a map. I already select one. We're going to do Crossroads, but spell it wrong. And now we're going to go right there. Next, we're going to create our token scale, which is going to be perfect for this map. We're going to make sure this is a 5-foot square right there. Boom. We're going to add this to our encounter. We're going to click on Crossroads right there. And now we have our beautiful map uploaded. Now, let's say we're going to fight some goblins. So we're going to go over to our token browser. We're going to look for goblin. These are the legacies, which are still in here if you are still using the 2014 rules, which is cool. And you can filter based on source, etc. So let's add 2 goblin warriors, a goblin boss, and a couple of goblin hexers. They all appear right on the map. We're going to tuck them over here. This one's going to be over in the bush. We'll say this one's hiding up here behind this tree. Over here. And then right over here. The wagon's going to be coming down this way. All right, so they're all on here. And then what I would do, what I did was I would select them all. I would lock them so my players couldn't mess with them because they will. And then I'm going to add them to the encounter. This is going to be the combat encounter for this. Once you add the player tokens, you can add them individually, or you can add all of your player tokens to the map. Again, through the token browser, players, you just add them. and then same thing. Boom. And then you can roll your auto initiative, and this is going to do the initiative for all your characters. All your players can use their initiative on their character sheet to roll it there, and it'll pop up right here. All of their interactions with their characters happen right on their D&D Beyond character sheet, which I found fantastic, and my players did too. Once we found out that you needed to use Chrome or Edge and not Firefox, it went incredibly smoothly after that. Everything was there in their character sheet available for them. They were able to kind of split screen it, and they had a really easy time navigating how to do it. We normally use fantasy rounds, so a lot of the calculations are done automatically. In Fantasy Grounds, we have a great DM who runs for us on Thursday nights who has purchased a lot of very awesome automation tools for Fantasy Grounds, and all of these things get automated for us. Here, the players needed to remember all the things that were going on with the character, all the things that they needed to add to damage, all of their different abilities separately, versus having it all compiled into automatic macros and such. So let's talk about Fog of War. We're going to take our players, we're going to move them up to the direction they're coming, and let's Fog of War. We're going to cover everything, so now it is Fog of War, and then we're just going to reveal the little bit that they see. Boom. They see this coming in, they see a nice little road, nothing too crazy, and they see here. There you go, perfect. So they would see these things on D&D Beyond. Let's talk about spectator mode to make sure they're seeing the things that you want them to see. Right down here, this little monitor is going to give you spectator. Once you start the session, this is what the players are seeing right now. So you can see exactly what they're seeing, what you've revealed to them. And if you have to fix it, you can fix it. But you have your view, and then you have the player's view as well. So you can kind of critique these things. Again, another great little quality of life feature that I really liked. The other thing is you can have encounters pre-built. Like the level 20 encounters that I want to run are all here. They're all built already in maps. And this is the next one that they're going to fight that they found out about. It's a bunch of different undead. I have this town one that I built, which is 2 elemental cataclysms and a bunch of smaller elementals. These are all already in here pre-built, and each one took me about the same amount of time once I knew what they were going to be that you just saw me spend on that goblin one. Once I had a map and I knew what I needed to put on the map, you just throw it in there and it is saved and it is ready to go. All right, back to our encounter that we ran last night to talk about some of the things that I really liked about maps. First and foremost, ease of use. This is a very simple VTT, and it was very simple to use. Having everything at my fingertips, health-wise, and just being able to click here and having the stat block was fantastic. I will throw a quick negative in here because it is relevant to the stat block. All of the basic abilities, the fire breath, the rend, all of these things are built right in here. The spells are not. So you have to click on the spells and then you have to do the dice manually. There's no little click on command and it expands and then you can cast command directly from there, or do the damage for Scorching Ray and the to hit based on the Ancient Red Dragon stat block right from here. Again, that was kind of a bummer, but the things that they did have were very useful. The next thing that I really loved was how easy it was for my players to just hop in and do it. We've created characters in D&D Beyond before and then ported them into Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 many times. We've even created whole characters in Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds. But at current state, D&D Beyond is the easiest way to create a character outside of pen and paper. It is just very easy for someone to whip up a quick character, even a level 21, get all the magic items thrown in there, and get to playing. And it's all in one place. So the things that I have already purchased on D&D Beyond are already in maps, ready for me to use. I do not have to repurchase anything to be able to use that content in Fantasy Grounds or Roll20. Now, one of my first complaints isn't a complaint because it is a beta. It has crashed twice on me so far. And again, that is not a bad thing for a beta program, but those kinds of things need to get worked out so that it is a smooth experience for both DMs and players. And this is, mind you, I have played one game. And it has crashed twice. Once when I was creating the encounters that were previously here, and once while I was making this video creating the goblin encounter and uploading the map. Next up, they've done a lot of really great things with maps since it was created. When it was first created, it was very, very simple and had almost none of the features that I've talked about today. It was literally a map and some tokens, and that was really kind of it. You couldn't even run like combat encounters in it. Now, the things that they do from here on out, I think, are going to define what maps becomes, because there are simple quality of life things that I think do need to happen, and things that are going to make this a better D&D experience going forward. The first one that I would love is to be able to select a group of monsters and have them all roll a saving throw. Trying to go to every single one of these dragons because someone did a large AoE and have them all individually roll their save is very click intensive. You select, you go to the dragon, you go to his sheet, you scroll up, you make a strength saving throw. All right, then you move over to the adult dragon, and you have to repeat that for every single dragon. And that is very taxing, and it can slow down combat, which is not something that I want to do as a DM. Also, the players have dice on D&D Beyond. I have lots of beautiful dice on D&D Beyond. I want to be able to see all of these dice, whether it's a little like dice tray or whatever. When you pull up the little games log and dice and select roll dice, have there just be like a little tray here or something, and you can see what the players are rolling on the dice that they've selected for the day. I think that would just be a cool little flavor thing. Dice are such an integral part of D&D, and I think that would be a very cool thing to add after you worry about some of the quality of life things that do need to happen. Next up, a way to track conditions for both the players and the monsters would be really great and convenient. To be able to go to the dragon that he's prone, click over to the border color or whatever it might be, and just be like prone, and then little words of prone go all the way around, or just like right along one side it says prone or something, would be incredibly helpful just when you're running the game to have there. I use condition rings at the table when I play in person, and I think that would be a really cool little feature that they could add here that would make the game experience just a little bit better. So what do I think of maps overall? I enjoyed running the game in maps. It was very easy for me to upload a map, add the tokens, have the players create their characters, and get those characters on the table and rolling initiative quickly. Maps does have opportunities. The number of crashes I experienced was, I think, high for the amount of time that I've used it. In addition to that, the things that I think they should prioritize in the next few patches are a lot of the quality of life things. Being able to see spells in maps rather than it taking you to a separate website, and being able to roll the dice for those spells based on the monster's stats. In addition to that, being able to see players' dice, I think, is a fun thing that they should look at in future patches. But overall, in the condition it's currently in, I'm going to be running next week's game in maps. I'm not running looking for another VTT to make my experience better, because the experience in maps was fine. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Be sure to like and subscribe, because I'm going to be updating this review of maps as I use it more and more. I think certain things that I found inconvenient in my game last night might not be as inconvenient once I get more used to running in maps. And I think some things will become more and more obnoxious or annoying, or things that I might feel more strongly about with more use. But I'm excited to see where maps goes, and we'll see you next time.